Now, this guy, he's been around forever.
The Albuquerque Journal's Mike Gallagher has been covering drug cartels for decades. He's seen them grow more powerful and their drugs more lethal. Tomorrow, he uncovers the inner workings of the Juarez cartel, one of the major drug operations in New Mexico. Gallagher says there were rumblings it was dying off.
Basically, what we're saying is it's not true.
But he says it's alive and well. At one point, the Journal reports this man, Ignacio Nachito Villalobos Salinas, was doing big drug deals in Albuquerque.
But he set up this operation down in the South Valley. And they were, bringing in marijuana, they were bringing in cocaine, they were bringing in methamphetamine, and they were bringing in heroin.
Gallagher says no one knows exactly how many Juarez cartel members there are because their network is layered.
They could have 100, 150 associates, people that are independent contractors that work for them or just buy drugs from them.
That's making it hard for law enforcement to knock them out of business. Even if they make a big bust, they're not always getting to the main cartel members.
It's one of the things that makes the organization so hard to deal with.
And in this piece, you'll read about the incredible profit pushers are making off of marijuana.
It's $100 in Juarez. In Albuquerque, it's $360 to $400.
Gallagher says this profit funds the bigger goals of these drug dealers, which is selling more potent drugs. Read more in tomorrow's Albuquerque Journal. Royal Day, KOAT, Action 7 News.
APD is investigating an overnight homicide in southeast Albuquerque. This time they do not believe, though, this is related to the string of violence against Muslim men within the city. Around 11 o'clock last night, officers were called to an apartment complex on Madera Street for a shots fired call. When officers arrived, they found one man dead. They were told the maintenance worker at the complex was checking apartments when he was shot. The investigation is just beginning on this. Of course, we'll update you as we gather more details right here on KRQE News 13.
On this episode of Albuquerque Gangland, we'll be profiling a local Albuquerque gang called JMV. That stands for Juaritos MaraVillas. They're located on the southeast side of the city. They have their neighborhood called the Sticks. They're located right there off of Gibson, in between by San Jose and KTP, which is Kurtown, Piru. They also have another location, which would be Juaritos JMV War Zone, which is over there by Louisiana in the War Zone neighborhood. These guys are unique in that they have a lot of connections with the cartel. They are very proud. Most of them are Mexican, deep Mexican. Juarez, Juaritos stands for Juarez, and the J in the N and the M in V. Again, these are guys that are called Juaritos MaraVillas. They have 2 neighborhoods in Albuquerque. They got a lot of numbers. They're very generational, and they hold their own right there in southeast Albuquerque was their first location. And they have another big location right there in the War Zone. Again, this is Juaritos MaraVillas, JMV. Proud neighborhood right there on the east side, southeast side, and also again right there in the center of the War Zone. That's War Zone, and then the southeast neighborhood's known as the Sticks. And like I said, here's some of their members here. You see them throwing up the J and the M and the V. These guys are Mexicanos, so they have a lot of connections to cartels, to drugs, to guns, and they make money. They're not afraid to murder or do whatever, and most of them can head right back to Juarez. And they have shelter, and they can get away with whatever they need to do. And they're not afraid to. They have a dangerous neighborhood, and they handle their business right there in between San Jose and Kurtown, Piru. Again, this is a little quick format of JMV. So yeah, just give another little recap. JMV, which is Juaritos MaraVillas. They have 2.
When I was a little kid, I always lived in apartments. Like I said, it was just my mom. We seat skied by her own, so she couldn't give us much, I grew up in a house of empty stomachs. I was just a little kid when I started game banging. I decided to go back to Mexico, my hometown, when I got caught up in the mix, When I'm with somebody or I see a homie I know, some people gotta do it right away, Christmas, Thanksgivings, family reunions, like we come and sit here and play, all the family, we gather together and play loteria. That's why this is over there. This is the Mexican game, loteria. So we come and have fun. This is the kickback spot when we want to get together, me and my brothers, like family spot. Then you got this one, we play Tomatodo. It's a Tomatodo Mexican games. But yeah, this is my mom's house. I used to live here for years. This is where I grew up. In this room, it was 4 of us. I used to sleep in here. We had some twin beds over here and some twin beds over here. That way, 4 of us, so we can barely fit in here. But we made it, Juaritos MaraVillas. You gotta take 3 homies to beat you up for 13 minutes, and after that you're in, But you can't fight back. On other hoods, you can fight back, And with us, you cannot. You just have to take it, Take the hit, and that's it. I can talk about a lot of stuff that I have done in my life, done myself, seen. There's stuff I can't talk about that I can't get into it, because it was some serious stuff that I had to see. So I don't want to get into that. I'll get somebody in trouble or myself. So just keep everything that happened in Mexico to myself. I'll tell a little bit about here, but I don't know if you've seen some videos about people on YouTube, how they kill people. And it's no game, it's what it is. People come with a machete, cut their hair off, it's like nothing. Like I told you the other day when I was with my girl, and I told you these little kids were gonna start like rapping to her, and I told them, man, have more respect and keep pull out a gun. I could have acted that day and be like, nah, fuck that, like fuck that, boom, shot at them. But I think about it, now I have a wife, I can fuck all this over, go to prison for all this dumbass. Like, nah, it's not worth it for me, Whatever, lose whatever I'm doing in half. For a little kid that's trying to be a smart ass, But if he had shot at me or pointed at me, I would have reacted because I'm gonna defend my family, So I'm gonna take that as a self-defense already.
Babe, I want to show Rick this. Look what he made in there. Cute, huh?
Water with sugar, and I'll let it sit for a little bit, and then I'll put it on the baño and stretch it. It's just gonna get stuck to the table, so with like an ID, I'll take all the water off. Life in Mexico, it's way different in here. Over here, it's a lot of more freedom because you don't get to ask nobody what you gotta do or gonna do, Over there, you can just go up to, me myself, I have beef with you, I can just go up, pull out a gun on you and kill you, because then they're gonna come for me and kill me because why are you doing that? Why are you hitting up the spot? Or we say who dies or who doesn't, And over here you could, if you get away, okay, but if not, guess what? Going to prison. And that's what happened to me, Over there they call it levanton. Over here it's like a kidnap. They went and got me over some money. I didn't have nothing to do with it, but my name was out there, So they came and got me, and they call it tablazos. They grab a piece of wood and they hit you with it on the back, like between your back and like your knees, like all over the back. They told me that I had to come up with that money, and I did. And that's when they let me go. I was like, fuck all this, I'm going back to the United States, and I came back to Albuquerque. I started, like I said, receiving dope, and I had my homies, and I was wild, clubbing and doing my little thing. because we didn't have to have a TV, you know. You go to their house, PlayStation and stuff, you know. And you're like, fuck, I want that, you know. I started with 20s. I remember I used to sell crack. And my homie used to hook me up on the way, not giving me the dope, but like, you call it double up. I'll go to him, give him 20, he'll give me 2 20s. So I go sell those 2 20s, get one, I got 40. So I go back with him with those 40, and now I got 40, boom. So guess what? Now I got 80. Now I got 160, boom. So from 20s, I jump into a quarter. Now I'm gonna buy a quarter ounce. Oh, I don't want a half, I'm buying an ounce, you know. And later in time, I was just sitting in a brick myself. Like I said, now I have a whole kilo for myself, my own profit, my own dope. Right there's Juaritos MaraVillas. So right here you got the J, and then right here the M, and then the V. So Juaritos MaraVillas, and then you got the SE. You can see exactly the S, and then the E. Mostly our number one's enemies back in the day, the Sonko and Barelas. And now it's different because when we go to prison and stuff, the guys I used to fight and bang and shoot at each other, we were together at MDC, we talk about it, and we're like, hey, let's go in this cell, bang. And whatever happens, we walk out, everything, you know, like nothing happened, you know, like, let's get it. Yes, we fucked up on the streets, now let's go in the cell, handle it, and we're good. It's to be a regular population, to be with the rest of the inmates, and not on the shoot, on segregation, on PC, you know. When I say walk the line, it's regular population. And you're trying to be with the rest of the people, go to rec, go eat in the cafeteria, you know. 30 years in a cell, imagine that. In a little room for the rest of those 30 years. And so guess what? Of course I'm gonna fight back and do my thing to be
and most of it, all of it, got it in the state. This place I got it in the level 2, but that's a different story. But everything else I got at the level 3 in Hobbs.
Mexico prison facility or state facility?
GO, yeah, GO state facility, yeah.
Southeast sticks. Right now, the east you can't really see it because it's all collage.
And then where's that at again? The southeast?
The southeast, yeah. Southeast of New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
South Broadway.
From apartment to an apartment to an apartment. You know, like I said, my mom could barely work to feed 6 kids. 6 mouths is a lot, man. And herself, so it's hard for a lady on her own, raising 6 kids and just herself, you know, not having family either to support her. So I'm proud of my mom to what she did. Like I said, now I don't see it like that. I don't see that picture that I wanted to gang bang and fuck this fool, he killed my homie, now I'm gonna get him back or his friend. Smoking dope and fiending and hustling to be able to go get high again. I don't let myself there, you know, to hit that point. Never done and never will. I locked up when I was 9. I did 18 months. I got out about when I was 13. Then I ended up going to juvie. I went to YDDC, then Camino Nuevo. That was possession of a firearm and grabbed the bottle. I was 18 months in juvenile on YDDC and Camino Nuevo. I got out. And that's when I want to do it, you know, basically, or like for my birthday. One of these pictures is on my birthday. And it's this one, you know, this one was for my birthday, I remember. It's like in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. 2008, Longport, California, USP. Might as well just rather go on a shootout with the cops and let them kill me than going back to prison for life or 30-some years in prison, you know? There was this family that came from Juarez, and they used to live on that area, on the southeast area, on the sticks that's from the I-25 to Broadway, and then from Cesar Chavez to Gibson, that little square. And I remember there was these sons, they're called Sanjo boys, they're from Sanjo. They used to walk by and see them, you know, and they would be like, Sanjo, gaming, and these guys were like, what the fuck is wrong with these kids, you know, in Spanish, tengo que estos güeyes que traen a la verga, you know. So one of them out of nowhere just said, nah, Juaritos, I mean, because he's from Juarez, Juaritos, puto, hey, what's up? That's when they fucking, they were like, oh, don't walk, please, the Juaritos are there. Like I said, I was young, so I was only 8, 9 years old when I was already running in the streets with them. And then that was our hood, that's where we started at. We started ranking ourselves in, beating us up, and then from there you beat them up for 30 minutes, and then we started ranking people in school and everything. And then we started beefing with ourselves for girls, property, dope. So that's when we split it. Still, we go to prison or it goes against the fight against like Sureños or another gang, we come together, it's only one, Juaritos MaraVillas. Then we split it the southeast with the war zone. Now you got Juaritos MaraVillas war zone, and then the ones from the sticks that's where I'm from. That's how it become a different thing. That's where I grew up, at the sticks area in the southeast. And I got, like I said, older brothers. I'm the youngest ones from my family. And I like it, the respect that people will give me, you know, like when I go over there and somebody trying to pick on me, oh no, be careful, that's Casper's and Grena's brother, little brother. Oh, that's a little right, so people respect me because of my brothers. Oh, I don't fuck with him, that's this was little brother. I want to see if there's still bullet holes. There should be there still, and I'll show them to you. And I was up there about to pull in when they catched up to me and they beat the fuck out of me. Sick, they knocked out my tooth. Yeah, they beat me up like a motherfucker. I went to the hospital with broken ribs, I remember. But I have some big stories in this area right here.
I got a stick. I started beating the hell out of this lady. She's like 30 years old. One of the ladies pushed my auntie and I had it.
Yeah. I had it. That's when she grabbed the stick, was like, oh hell no. Oh. She just swing like that, she's like, what? Boom! And hit her in the face. I was like, oh yeah, it's done. Like I think they're old as fuck. She's only 19, you know, like, yeah. What the fuck?
Right here and right here. Well.
Kidnapping and all that, and it was the easiest way to get money and nobody would care, you know. And right now it's different because cartel control everything. It's not the law, not the cops that control everything, but say you're on dope, you're strung out, you were there stealing car batteries, systems, or even going into houses, breaking into houses. The cartel finds out that you're doing all that shit, they go get you, beat you up, probably cut your hands and throw you back. Keep stealing. Let's see if you kind of want to, you know, like beat you up. Imagine cutting your hands. How are you gonna need there? Like,
did you know people that that's happened to?
I'd rather just keep it to myself to get not get into any kind of trouble or something. It's hard, like I said. to live in Mexico. Like there's a lot of people report that they do that. They steal and stuff that can get them into get killed. You know, like because the cartels they control that. I mean, like they don't let you steal, they don't let you store shit, but they do it though. That guy grew up with me. He doesn't even have a diploma, but sure now I can see all these pictures and hearing from him having this badass house and beautiful woman, and how come I can't have that? I refused to be on the street like that, smoking dope and fiending and hustling to be able to go get high again. I don't let myself there, you know, to hit that point. Never done and never will. But I push myself when I look at people like that, like my homies that I grew up with and that they used to ball and have all these, and now they're all crackheads and dope fiends and stuff, and I'm like, how? I want that for me.